Hey, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Some more. It's Politics with Laura here. Now, I'm going to do something a little different because I'm going to show you a little bit about DC. Now, DC does have its issues, but within those issues, there's a pocket of positivity. And that's something um, that really isn't reported, but I thought it was interesting that the New York Times um, reported on this. I was like, what? Okay, okay. Now, in the midst of all the political chaos, the violence, the National Guards, there is in a small section of DC something beautiful happened. Okay, within this, on the other side of DC is the same old. But what happened in Northeast, what is it, Northeast DC, what is some people will call the hood, the ghetto. No, maybe one day I'll drive around and show you different parts of DC because you only think of Northwest. Um, what Georgetown? Everybody heard of Georgetown, Wisconsin Avenue, Tenleytown, which is on Wisconsin Avenue, the Palisades, um, uh, Capitol Hill. That's over there in Southeast. But different pockets you would consider to be rich. No, no. There are wealthy black areas too, and they're not so much in Northwest, but they're in Northeast and Southeast and Southwest. So if you ever heard of the waterfront, that area is mostly a black area, and it has pockets of of how can I say crime areas, but every place does. But it's mixed in with more so a lot of middle class and wealthy black areas. So I want to put that in there. So when I say this, you'll have an understanding. Now, with all this going on, you have what this person says. What's his name? Mark Walker. Okay, reporting from DC. So okay, so all right. So he's saying, hey, for a few hours, a party drowns out the tension in DC, and that's exactly what was needed. Now, here you have GoGo. And whenever you hear, not many people know a lot about GoGo, but if you're in the DMV area or if you have come across DC, then you heard of it. Please stick with me, stick with me, stick with me, stick with me. I'm going someplace with this. Now, GoGo attracts all types of people. Not only black people, you'll see white people, as you see right here, this lady right here. And as I scanned it, there was a lot of white people there, which is a good thing because it's showing that things are coming together, right? So here, he starts off with, in Dupont Circle, hundreds of protesters shouted their dissent over President Trump's crackdown, but across town in Fort Dupont Park, voices rejoiced in a call response, and the pride of the community kept the city's conflict at bay, at least for a few hours. And I have to say it was more than a few hours. Now, in the sweltering heat or the sweltering afternoon, thousands of people in Fort Dupont turned out for the annual celebration on the local legend Chuck Brown, the creator and the godfather of go-go music. The vibrant of funk, the rhythm of funk. I'm not talking about people's underarm pits. No, I'm talking about the music genre. With the rhythm of congas, congos and the guitar. You would have to hear it because it's very hard to explain. Filled in the air, families sat on the lawn chairs alongside of a small hill next to the stage. Elderly people clapped softly to the beat as a live band hit the stride, and the energetic dancers So you have that going on over in Southeast, right? Now, what you have going on over in Northwest, where is it at? Okay, I can't find it. I thought I had it. All right, I don't have it. I lost it. Now, let me go ahead and give you an idea where this is, because they're talking about people having dissent and having problems. Doggone it. Dissent and problems, right? In Northwest DC. Let me show you where this is at. Now, this right here is Massachusetts Southeast. Right here's Fort Dupont. So here, Minnesota Southeast. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I said Northeast. I'm going to say Southeast. So this is where the things happen. Now, Minnesota Avenue, if you know anything about it, you know anything crazy can happen at any given moment. Right here is East Capitol and Benning Road. If I'm going to leave that right. I'm just thinking of the Housewives of Benning Road. If you ever get a chance, look at it on YouTube. It is hysterically funny, but I digress. Okay, so here is where it took place, right? As far as the GoGo, the people getting together, 8,000 people happened here. Now, Dupont Circle is in Northwest, so let's take this. Let's go on up Pennsylvania Avenue. Here we see the Stadium Park, Penn Square, Vermont Avenue subway station, downtown DC, boom, Dupont Circle. So here you have plenty of people who's coming up and screaming and hollering, "Oh, Trump, how dare you, and leave the immigrants alone," and you got hippity hoppity hoppity hippity. And I'm not saying that flippantly. I just don't know what to put in there, right? So you have protests going on up there. All right, now, within all this, they're over there, they have their little powwow or protest of screaming and hollering and throwing out negative energy. But on the other side of DC, in Southeast, you have people who are putting out positivity. And that right there is a good thing. Now, within all of this happening, right? You have all of this happening. The mayor does something interesting because she has been applying to take sanctuary city status off of DC. In doing that, this is what occurs. Here, DC police allowed to notify ICE of people not in custody, police chief says. So that's a big thing right there. So they're saying, okay, look, as you're going out and you're scooping up people who are acting a fool, causing problems, getting them, also here's some people on ICE. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Now, they know where all these people are. So they know exactly where they are, because whenever you go to the hospital, to a clinic, go to a dentist, you have to fill out this form every time when you come. And it gives all the information, who's in your house, where you work, how much you make, all of that. They know where you're at. They just don't want to pick anybody up. But now, that's different. So now they're notifying ICE. So, let me see. Fair use. Just so we can get a better understanding. Let's take a listen.
An executive order today. It says officers making traffic stops are now allowed to notify federal agents about undocumented immigrants they encounter. It is a major departure from the police department's previous policy, and it comes as D.C. residents prepare for a surge of law enforcement agents in their neighborhoods. Take a look, because this was the scene late last night along 14th Street Northwest. More than 20 agents were met with protesters in the busy nightlife district.
We know more law enforcement will be setting up checkpoints in certain neighborhoods tonight as federal agents work with our local police. We're bringing you live team coverage on how this will affect impact.
Now, keep in mind, like I showed you, on one side of D.C., you have people that are playing music, enjoying themselves. On the other part, they're like, okay, we are going to fight to the bitter end. We're going to fight. All right.
Residents all over the district, and our Amy Cho is covering our unhoused population tonight and the rush to clear those encampments today.
But we begin with News 4's Mark Seagraves. Mark, tell us a little bit more about this change in the district's immigration policies.
Yeah, you know, in the past 48 hours, there have been three significant developments that have actually been shifts in how the district interacts with ICE. And that has happened, again, as I said, over the last 48 hours, both dealing with D.C. police and the Bowser administration.
Now, this right here is really shocking because you had D.C. public school teachers saying, you're not going to take these children. We're going to hide these children. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Now, understand, in education, they don't care if you have a Social Security or not. They need those bodies there, and they need them there to get the money. Each child you get, let me see, in D.C. you get like what? I think $15,000 or $20,000 per child. And then if the child is special education, you get like what, like $20,000 more for that child. But I'm getting off the subject, right? But let's take a look at this, because I found this quite interesting. So DC police are allowed to notify the Federal Immigration Enforcement Agency of people who are not in custody. You could be walking outside. Hey, he's over there. She's over there. Okay. Including during a traffic stop. Now, when Biden was in office and Muriel Bowser was down with it, you have all people that came here, and you know, a lot of, let me see, how can I say, I'm just going to say it. You have immigrants who tell their story. Oh, I came here with $1.50 in my pocket. That's a damn lie. And right here is going to prove what you said was a damn lie. You've been getting help all along. So stop with the I work hard and you Americans are lazy and that's why I'm here. Stop that BS. Nobody wants to hear it. All right. So here, Muriel Bowser not only gave money to people to get apartments, gave them money, thousands of dollars, gave them money to get cars, gave them money to get mopeds. And you see people riding around all over the place delivering your food. And then, because I ask you, I want to know, that's my damn money. Okay, you're using my money. Stop doing wheelies on those mopeds on my money, right? They didn't come with money. Remember, they came here with $1.35 and they work hard. And I'm going to get to that. I'm going to show you to watch. So within what I'm so here. So now it seems to be a significant shift from how the police were cooperating with the immigration enforcement. A memo from the police chief, Pamela Smith, says members of the Metropolitan Police Department may assist with sharing information about persons not in Metropolitan Police Department custody and providing transportation for federal immigration agency employees and detained subjects. So whether if they are in custody or not, you're going to know about it. Now, I'm going to tell you something. And what I'm about to say, it may piss you off, but it's true. It is true. Now, one thing that has been happening with a lot of illegal immigrants coming here through Joe Biden, that we got about 160 countries, all are fighting, and everybody here is refugees based on what Joe Biden was saying. Now, so many people coming in, it's putting people out of work. Now, I'm going to talk about the ukulele country, the Ukraine. The Ukrainian people are getting jobs, and they're pushing white Americans out of their jobs, and also black Americans out of their jobs, and also immigrants that came here legally. They're getting pushed out. Not only Ukrainians, but also other people, because you have people from the Middle East and other places, and a lot of them are here in D.C. Not only down in Texas and California and all these places, but just talk about D.C. right now. So I'm seeing a lot of homeless white people, or as they say, unhoused. Now, Trump is going to move these people that are unhoused out, that are living in tents right there in front of the White House. They're around there. They're under bridges, and they're in other places around D.C. Now, I was going to say, I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm going to leave it. I have a thought. That's going to be another video that I'll do. So people are pissed off. They're like, well, I lose my home, and then you bring somebody from somewhere else. You give them money for a house that I was in. You give them a ride. You give them a moped. You give them a job, and they don't speak English, and blah, yada, 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 yada. And I'm not, and I'm not being, flippant about it. No, I'm just, it's so ridiculous. It is. So now the police are giving up information for ICE, and man, hopefully I'm outside one time, and I'll be able to get what do you call it, an ICE raid. And what you're going to see is a lot of white people out there saying, leave these people alone, and they're not. Okay, liberal, progressive, you are a bunch of do-gooders. And it's okay being a do-gooder, but do good for the right reason. I mean, you're not even looking at the people that are trying to come here legally, and you're looking at the people that are coming here illegally. And when I say illegal, I mean without documents. Not people with documents, but people without. Okay. So it goes on. So here, to show that it's official, let me see. This is on Twitter. Breaking. DC Police Chief issues a new executive order orders allowing police to notify ICE about a subject not in custody, including during a traffic stop, and to help ICE in the transportation of detained suspects. So, a lot has changed. So, Border Czar Tom Homan said to Fox News on Wednesday night that D.C. under federal control is not going to be a sanctuary city. Now, Muriel Bowser was the mayor. Muriel Bowser, she was lifting that months before this happened. So this right here is quite interesting. Let me find that. Where is? Okay, right here. So here, a spike in moped food delivery drivers, and my thing is this: why could this not have been done for American citizens? Why do they have to be people from other countries? Now, they could have invested in the youth, and they could have had these jobs. American citizens could have been driving mopeds, delivering food. They need work. We used to have a summer youth program. We don't have that now. All that money was diverted to other people, like what you have right here. Okay, what is he saying? Fair use.
Go straight Bennett Warren. Depends on if it's right or left as well. If Lance Hurd gets hurt, then you'll probably flip David Sanders over.
Okay, that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. But here, what is this? Lisa Ebel was walking around in her and the people on these mopeds, oh, they weave in and out of traffic, almost cause accidents. Oh my goodness. Look, learn the traffic laws, please. But here, Lisa Abel was walking in her Mount Vernon neighborhood last month when she nearly got a delivery she wasn't expecting. I thought it was going to hit me because he was coming right at me, Abel said. And she says a moped food delivery driver was zipping down the narrow stretch of the sidewalk against the flow of traffic and nearly hit her. So yeah, they're doing some wild stuff. They are on some other time stuff. And here, a moped delivery driver riding on the wrong side against traffic on 14th Street in Northwest. That's dangerous. 14th Street is a very it's the traffic is outrageous. There's a lot of traffic, and for them to be weaving in and out like crazy as they do, and a moped delivery driver along P Street Northwest, riding from the sidewalk onto the street, they do that. Oh man, these people. They just don't care. They just don't care. It's just outrageous what they do. It's completely outrageous. But let me see. Is this okay? Outside of the Central American Resource Center in Columbia Heights, spoke with a moped delivery driver on the condition that we do not identify him. So you don't want to identify him, okay? But here. They get $200 a day. Now, he said in about 2 months, he's been doing it, Nunez explained. He said it is pretty good. He makes about $200 a day. $1,000 a week, right? That's if he works 5 days. Man, oh man, oh man. And high school students and young 20-something-year-olds could have those jobs and pay their way through school, whatever it is. But no, that's not what democratic cities are doing. That's not what they're doing. It's terrible. Let me see. And he added he doesn't break the law other than unregistered moped. He doesn't break the law. Well, you got to register. If I don't register my car, I get in trouble. Man, they do all kinds of stuff to American citizens, but if you are illegal, you get the red carpet. And it shouldn't be that way. It really shouldn't. Okay, right here. Let me see.
Children in the United States are only 20% of the population, but they are 100% of our future.
I can't.
New at 6 tonight, D.C. police are giving us an update on its efforts to increase traffic enforcement, specifically those drivers driving around on mopeds or scooters. The department launched this effort after it received complaints of people driving scooters recklessly.
John Durant has been looking into this enforcement so far. And John, we know you talked to a man who drives a scooter for a living.
Leslie, I did. He delivers food for a living on his scooter. And today I asked him about D.C. Police's Operation Ride Right. It launched last week, and it's cracking down on illegal scooter and moped driving across the district. It's also helping ensure those drivers have licenses and license plates. Police say as of today, they've impounded more than 160 scooters. And today I asked that food delivery driver what he thought of police's new effort.
These scooters are everywhere in the district, some seen weaving in and out of traffic. And police say some drivers don't have the proper paperwork to operate a scooter. Daniel Rivero's from Venezuela and says he's been delivering food with his scooter for a few months.
Now look how old he is. Look how old he is. Why can't that? Why can't a teenager do that? Why can't an early 20-something-year-old person do that? And I find it quite interesting that there are no Americans doing those jobs. Not a one. They are all from other countries. That's an issue. Okay? But let me finish this up real quick till I go on to the next thing.
He said he agrees with the legislation and that he aligns with the law.
He says he requested and was granted asylum to the United States in 2020. Rivero received a work permit, a license plate, and driver's license. He says he delivers food to send money to family in Venezuela.
He says that he is aware of the, negative narrative that, just flows around, mopeds in D.C., but he just wants to show that he's one of the good ones.
D.C. police say they've arrested 61 scooter drivers for not having a permit and issued 172 infractions. They've also impounded 167 scooters in about 10 days.
Look at that.
Rivero says he's aware of some of the complaints police have received about scooters driving recklessly on city streets.
Okay. So I'm going to leave it right there. Oh, Councilwoman Brianna Nadeau. Oh, man. Yeah. Okay. Introduced a bill strengthening the moped licensing and registration requirements. Thank you, Brianna. I'm glad you're doing something besides turning a blind eye to everything. Now that Trump is in office, now you want to do a little bit. But it's a look, whatever the issue. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for doing your job. All right. And right here, DC Police has a new plan helping ICE, and I wanted to. And the National Guards are going to be assisting them. Okay. And it was only just what I stated earlier. Muriel Bowser and the police chief giving people, or not the people, but police officers, hey, help out the federal officers. But So DC is going through a whole lot. It's going through a lot of chaos, and it's going through unity, and it's going through correcting things that should have never occurred to begin with. So I think DC is going to be a better place, and I'm happy about that, and I'm happy to see these changes. And when I don't know what is going to happen next election. I don't know what's going to happen in 2026. I don't know who's going to be mayor, who's going to be senator, who's going to be congressman. So there's going to be a big shakeup, and I'm going to get to Trump a little later in another video because I see some things that are quite interesting, and some people being left behind and unprotected, but it's going to be quite interesting when you see who they are. It's like, they didn't see that one coming. But on that note, look, please, I want to thank you for stopping by. Please push that like button. Please subscribe. Subscriptions are for free. Please help me out. I'm trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. On that note, I want to thank you for stopping by.